Hello and welcome to Lockdown Tips. It's Anna, I'm Anna from Anna.marketing, and I would like to talk to you today about marketing mix. And before we go any further, if you're watching it live, please do hashtag live in the comments, or if you're watching on replay, just write hashtag replay. I'll be really grateful, thank you. So, marketing mix is one of the very basic tools to help you with promoting your product. But it's when you go through the whole kind of 7 steps, you know how to look at your product or service. But make sure that you've got just one product or service in mind, because it only works if you focus yourself on just one, and then you can do the same with all the other ones, but maybe focus on the one that you want to promote the most, or is not selling as well as you wish to. So again, just have one thing in mind, and we'll go through those 7 steps. So I'll tell you exactly what the marketing mix is if you haven't heard about it before. So marketing mix is all about kind of product, price, promotion, and then place of where you are selling your product or service. And then so that's the core. And there are 3 additional ones, which are people, processes, and then physical evidence. So again, all of that combined, when you have this one product or one service in mind, if you go through all those steps, it should help you to define which is the best marketing strategy and promotional, which promotional tools are the best to use. So if we kind of take it step by step, if you take product, for example, when you have product in mind, or product means something that you sell, so it can be a product or it can be a service, but then you are thinking about at which phase you're in. Are you just starting, or maybe you've got your product or service developed and it's out there, you just need a little bit of a push, or maybe it's kind of starting to die off and you reach the plate and you reach the top and you're starting to plateau. So again, that there will be different scenarios, marketing tools that you'll be using for each one of those. So that's product. Then if you think of a price, so again, you might have heard me before, there's not such thing as too high price. It's all about kind of finding the right people who want to pay you what you want to be paid for this either product or service. It's also kind of sometimes when you are describing your product or service, you need to think about how to make it irresistible, how to make it so that people will buy it no matter what the price. They don't even they may even forget about the price, but they just want it so much. They want all the benefits that you're giving them so much. They don't care about the price anymore. So that's where we want to get to ideally as marketeers. And as business owners, right? Because you want your product or service to be desired, to be wanted, to be kind of the best it can be for this group that you kind of develop as your ideal client. So that's kind of that's product and price. Now, if we are thinking about promotion, so there are various promotional tools, and it's not about doing a sale or anything like that. It can be part of your promotion, but how you are talking about your product, what is included in within the package of your product. Also, we'll be talking about place in a second, so where it's sold. But basically, promotion is talking about your product or service in a way so that people want it. So when you are promoting it, it's not necessarily you're doing a sale. You are talking about it. When you are on networking meetings, do you talk about about your product or service, and how you talk about it is really, really important. So you describe it in a way where people want it. Okay. And there are various promotional tools, but you will be able, based on where you are selling your product, how you are selling, what it is, and what stage you're at, and what price it is. There will be different tools again that you'll use to promote your product, but talking about your product. So it's almost the language that you develop around your product, and all the kind of bonuses or benefits that you are giving away with the product is the key. Is what you kind of think and talk about when you think about promotion. Then we've got place. So when you think about selling it, it's been really kind of over the past few months, or over a year now, you might be thinking, okay, where do I sell my product? Because especially when you think about pandemic, quite a lot of businesses move their services and develop the relationship online with people online. But there are still shops that are open, food shops or even the cafes. They started to sell more and deliver more, for example, to make sure that they meet this customer at that place where they want to buy. So when you think about the place, it's everywhere where your client is prepared to get to be able to get your product or service. So just think about, is it just mainly online that you want to sell what you have, or is it in person? Does it need to be in person? Because if it's a food related thing, you need to get it to the customer in some way. So that's the place from the marketing mix. So those four are kind of a basis, and then the other three has been developed with services in mind. But it's really, really helpful when you think about also promoting your products, especially online, to think about those remaining three, which is people, processes, and physical evidence. So when you think about people, you do need people to sell your product, and it's even more important nowadays because people get fussy or are fussy and they want things now. So again, things are changing, or the world is changing, and you almost need to kind of pace yourself to be able to get to that stage again, to kind of grab your customer where he wants to buy. But if you've got good team around you, if you develop, if your team actually carries the same principles as your company does, that's a win-win, right? Because it may be that you've got a service business and people like to work with you especially, but not so much with your associates. Again, you need to work up probably on the same level, or maybe have one-to-ones with this particular customer from now and again, so they know that they are looked after well. But again, it may be that your part of your team is kind of developed so well, you work with them, you talk with them, kind of say what is important, what you want them to carry through when they're supporting your customer or business customer. Again, just clarifying this sometimes really helps. So that's people. Now let's talk about processes. So if you think about customer journey, so you want to kind of find them, then you want to talk to them, and you want to look after them. So this is a whole process, and it's good to write it down to see what is important at the beginning, what is happening in the middle. Is it easy to buy your product or service, and then aftercare, what happens once they've bought this product or service. Is that it, or do you have a program, maybe a newsletter, once a month you're just reminding them about yourself? Or maybe if it's a service that is annual, you give them a 3 months warning, saying, okay, this is due, what you think about, or the insurance companies do with your cars or with your home. So that's really kind of clever and smart to do. But yeah, think about all the processes, all the way that needs to go through, your customer needs to go through, but also what does your product, when you are developing a product, what does your product needs to go through, what kind of process it needs to go through, does it need to be tested, or how it needs to be tested, because if it needs to be tested is kind of almost a thing. But if it's when it's tested, how it's tested, do you need different colors, do you need to check different supplies? So again, just making sure that you've got that written down and you understand, and streamline whenever you can, because it's all about kind of being as effective and as efficient as possible, right? And the last but definitely not least is physical evidence. So when you are buying a product or a service, and you are not buying it through the word of mouth, but even then you go maybe and go through the process of, okay, that's the company or that's the product. Do I trust it? So are the kind of images well enough for me to judge it? Or if I've got it in my hands, it's a bit easier to define, because then you've got something tangible. But if it's not tangible, if it's not in front of you, how do you then warming up to it? How are you deciding, yes, I want to buy it? Is it because your friends told you to, or advised you to, that that's the best thing you can do? But you always have this kind of, I want to check it. I'm not sure if you do that, but customers very often, or clients very often do that, when they want this kind of assurance, if that's enough. So that's where the physical evidence comes. And if you've got, especially a service, you want to give your customer a little bit of assurance. So let's say that, you know, when you finish the course, you will get a certificate. When you go to the hairdressers, yeah, you are setting up, but you don't know what the outcome will be. But again, you go out with a hairdresser and potentially, you know, the next appointment card, you've got something in your hand. So think about of, you know, what you can give to your customer. It can be, you know, a receipt that you send with a thank you note that they get through their emails. Whatever you get, just think of something tangible that they have. And also, before they buy, they like to look you up, as I mentioned. So it's important how you present yourself. And again, consistency for me is the key. So if you think about the website, and if you think about your social media channels, for example, or how you talk about yourself on Google, Google My Business page, are they all kind of in sync? Are they all consistent? Can you know, your client, when they go to your website and they go to your Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever, can they recognize you? Do they see you in there? And it can be as simple as, you know, having the logos everywhere, but it's also kind of how you talk about things, how you explain things, how you present yourself, and is that extended to everything that you do, to your business cards, to the packaging that you're doing. So I was talking to someone the other day about packaging. So again, if you've got an eco, and again I mentioned that before, if you've got an eco packaging in mind, so for example, vegan muffins came out at some point, and the lady said, okay, so if I want to sell them in my shop, I'd rather not to have them in cases, because again, even if it's a paper case, it's still something that produces waste. So the whole vegan idea is not about this, although it's still much better than, you know, if you, let's say, sending your products, if you bubble wrap it, again, it's not very eco. So just keep that in mind, that people pay attention to details, and some more than others, and again, depending on what price point you are thinking about, and you know, which audience you're trying to reach. But some of the little things kind of really matter to people. So just bear that in mind when you are developing all of it. So hopefully that's been useful for you. So again, just to remind you, you know, what are those 7 P's. So the whole marketing mix is, you know, product, price, place and promotion, and then we've got people, processes and physical evidence. And if you go through all of that, even, you know, take a piece of paper, obviously, you know, that's something that I can help you with, or that's also one of my 7 steps of my marketing strategy program. So again, if you want to discuss any of those, please do let me know or get in touch. My website is also now ready, which is, you know, really exciting for me. So again, just have a browse. It's anna.marketing, written dot.marketing@.co.uk, and just have a browse, have a think. If you want to book untangling session with me, again, that's fine. I'll be more than happy to talk to you. But yeah, just having kind of going from somewhere that you know what you are doing, just really writing down the, you know, everything that you've got in mind for one product will help you massively, and I'll be I'll be honored to help you with that if that's what you want to do. It's been lovely again. I'll see you next week, and take care. Have a lovely weekend. Bye bye.